Well, I've been searching this stubble for about 10 minutes now, and it's an absolute nightmare. Those of you who've been detecting in stubble will know exactly what I'm talking about. Although the stubble's short, you just can't get your coil close to the ground, because with it being short, it's actually made it a little bit stronger than the longer stubble, because the longer stubble sort of lays over a little bit easy. So anyway, I've been messing around with a few different settings, and I've come to the conclusion that if I can't get the coil to the ground, I need to bring the ground to the coil. Now the only way I'm going to do this is to use the Goldfield program and search for my coil above the stubble. And also another way of bringing the ground a little bit closer to the coil is lowering the ground balance. So these are my Goldfield mode settings. Frequency I'm on 31 kilohertz, reactivity 2.5, disc IAR 5, threshold 3, audio response 4. Now I'm probably going to go up to 5 because this is another way of making the ground a little bit more hotter, and that's all there is to it. So you can hear there the ground is quite positive, so I need to ground balance that. Just bounce it a few times and press the pinpoint button once, and that's taken us up to 76 on the ground balance. But look at the mineralization bar, I've got 4 or 5 bars coming up there, which I'm really pleased about, and that could be a sign of indeed habitation. Okay, let's get our heads down and have a quick run with the Goldfield mode, just so you can listen to it for say 30 seconds or so. See, we're above the stubble, nice and slow. Iron. And you don't really think it's doing a lot because it's quite smooth, quite well behaved. And as soon as you go over a target, it just sort of lights up. That's iron, that's got the stutter with it. Chop in when you get close to it. Now the Goldfield mode is a real game of patience. It's always going to be in the back of your mind, am I missing stuff with the Goldfield mode? Will the discrimination modes find me more? Well, we don't really know the answer to that. But for me, it's the difference between detecting and not detecting, because I'm certainly not going to be thrashing my coil through the stubble. Those days are over. So I'm making the best of a bad situation, really. And you'll be surprised what comes up using the Goldfield mode, but it is a game of nerves. You do need to keep your nerve with this, definitely, and not even think about other programs. Just keep going, and when you find something with the Goldfield mode, that's it, that's your confidence set in stone with it. '60s, '80s. Right, I've just thrown it away, I think. Oh, there it is, look. I think it's another button, perhaps. But it's a coin-sized target, so it's just a matter of time, I guess. One little top tip, just to take on board when you're on a club dig or something like that. Look out for concentrations of people. So down there we've got Guy and Serengeti Steve. There's a couple of other people dotted around, but the concentration is most definitely in that bottom corner there, and there's a little crowd gathering in that top corner over there. So sometimes it pays to let other people do the work for you. Just spend the first hour or so observing, and then perhaps later in the day just move on to that spot. But there's nothing to say there isn't stuff around here, is there? I mean, there's every chance, so head down, keep going. That's looking good. We're getting no suspicious numbers coming up. Look, it's 64, 50s. Looks like I've moved it. That's what it is. Really don't know. So okay, I've found a small thin piece of, could be scrap, but one thing which is good is I know I'm probably not missing any smaller coins, because if it picks that up, it's a strap end. Believe it or not, it's a strap end. Now cleaning it up, I can see it's got the dots on it. I'm pretty sure that that is a strap end. Pretty sure, because it's got the fixings there, the hole fixings, where it may have gone into a belt or some leather. I really don't know, but it's got that lovely patina to it, hasn't it? But that's just proved one thing to me, really. If I'm finding really thin bits and pieces like that, I'm on the right tracks, because I don't think I'm going to be missing reasonably sized coins using this method. So that's a real confidence booster. It's a typical iron signal. It's right up in the high 90s and it's got a stutter with it. Now you've got two forms of iron identification with the DAIS using the Goldfield program, and you've got three forms of identification if you guys are using the ORX. The DAIS two forms are obviously the audio, because we're using the disc IAR at 5, so an iron will give a broken signal, and also we've got the visual target ID, so if we're getting positive numbers coming up, it's a digger. And with your ORX, you've also got an added iron tone, which is a brilliant feature, so you get a low tone for the iron. Let's have a look, see what this target is. You can hear it's a little bit chattery there because I've got this sensitivity really high, but I can live with that. And there you have it. It's just a piece of lead or some sort of, yeah, lead. I'm pretty sure it's lead. I'm using the higher frequency because I think that may give me a better chance on the smaller items, but so far I've not found anything massively small. Small enough, I found that what I thought may be a strap end, but who knows. But regarding coils and frequencies, if I was using the bigger coil, that would give me better ground coverage, wouldn't it? Lower frequencies, that will give me perhaps deeper penetration into the ground on the bigger target. So it's a balancing act all the time. Who knows? silver, and some part of a thimble or something, who knows. Definitely silver though, you can just tell the tint of it all, can't you? Perhaps a part of a thimble. Sometimes we come across a signal which sounds pretty good, but it's got no meter reading. Now, I wouldn't suggest you avoid these sort of targets. It's always worth having a little dig. No meter reading could mean deep, small, the machine just doesn't know. Here's one here. Mineralisation bar is halfway up now. Almost to the top. I still got to dig it out because I simply don't know. I could be potentially missing a find of a lifetime. So just for the sake of a couple of seconds with a spade, I'm going to know either way. It's out. Oh, yes. There you go, look, that was worth investigating because that is an end of a key, I believe. Look at that, guys. End of a key. Well, I know the high 90s can be in this danger zone, but this high 90, I don't know, I've got a bit of a feeling about it. It sounds pretty good. Oh, it's gone. Oh, look, look. I kicked it when I was... Oh, flip. It's a milled silver coin. Can you believe that? I just scrubbed the surface and I moved it, look. And I was right about the high 90s giving a good sound. Can you believe it? That was sunbathing and I just kicked it with my foot. Here's one. We're in the sort of 70s again, higher sort of numbers, but repeatable. Now, it's always worth crushing the stubble down to get that coil a little bit closer once you've got a target, because the IAR tends to work differently to your conventional discrimination. It works on iron depth. So we've been through this on previous videos, but just quickly, IAR 1 will only reject shallow iron, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get a point where it lets the deep iron through. So by getting that coil a little bit closer to check your target can give you that final analysis whether it's iron or not. It just gives you that little bit of an edge. So here we go, here's his target. '70s, '60s, wagon wheel it. That has got a bit of a stutter at one position, hasn't it? Also, you've got to remember if it's next to iron, you're going to get that sort of stutter. But that's the sort of target I gladly investigate. So let's have a look. Oh, come on. It just seems like I'm chasing it. It was in the centre, now it's in the edge. And there it is. It's a misshaped piece of iron. A big square nail head, look, you can see where the nail went there. So medieval, I'm pretty sure that's medieval, really old. So let's demonstrate this IAR then. We're on IAR 5, and when something's close to the coil, no problem at all. And then when you come further away, so just be prepared. If you're using Goldfield disc IAR, you may dig the odd bit of moody iron. So around the 60s again, isn't it? I wonder if it's lead. Still got to dig it to find out. Ha, I thought it was lead. Oh, how wrong was I? There you go, your hammered coin using the Goldfield program. Look at that baby. Well, there you are, look, a flipping hammered coin, and I thought that was lead. And that's just what I was saying earlier about your confidence. Once you start finding stuff with the Goldfield mode, your confidence is then set in stone, because you'll always remember targets like this. Does the Goldfield find small stuff? Of course it does. There's your proof. Brilliant. Well guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope that's given you a little insight into the Goldfield program and my personal stubble hunting techniques. Don't forget to drop into the XP Adventures and the XP Skills School Facebook groups. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye for now.